I'm Kimberly. I am clairvoyant. I am able to see energies, figures. I am claircognizant, which is having this overall knowing feeling.
Oh, really?
Not your servant for your kind info.
No, you're supposed to be my partner and you're failing at it. This is not how I want to be treated for the rest of my life. This is not the man I want to marry.
Okay, don't marry me.
What? You didn't see that coming?
Awesome! As we move into episode 3 of the new season of The Other Way, we have a new hot mess couple that has caught my attention. And that couple is TJ and Kimberly. We met them in episode 2. And Kimberly's introduction was, well, kind of annoying. She introduces herself as spiritual, which we have seen before. Cough, cough, Danielle.
Baba, my spiritual mentor, gave me a ritual that might help bring some peace into my home.
But the way that this 30-year-old talked about her spiritual gifts was just over the top, performative, silly. I don't know what words to use here. Something about it seemed more like bragging than genuine. I think that because she says she's clairvoyant, clairaudient, all of the clairs.
I am claircognizant, which is having this overall knowing feeling.
I actually put in my notes that her name was Claire when I first watched this.
There's so many different Claires.
But most of us watching have seen the season preview where we see this couple get into some heated fights. And we learned pretty quickly that TJ has been keeping a secret from Kimberly, and her Claires told her nothing about it. So if she really is claiming to be all of the Claires, how did she not see, hear, or feel these issues coming? It makes it feel more like she's putting on a show when she does a reading for this woman.
I'm feeling the word baby, but I don't know if that has any...
Oh, goodness,
not necessarily, not like an infant. It could be like the birth of a project.
Sure.
Especially when she talks about how she met TJ.
I met my now fiance through a dream.
I'm having some flashbacks of Danielle saying that she saw Johan at her hotel and just knew that they would get married. She described this soul connection, and now they are miserable with each other. I'm curious to see where Kimberly goes with this whole spiritual persona, and to see if she uses her practices more like Danielle does. If you haven't seen my videos about Danielle and Johan, pretty much Danielle uses her rituals to avoid any accountability in her life. It's like a way out of having to deal with her bad decisions.
Ven, tú necesitas.
But Kimberly is taking this spiritual stuff a step further than Danielle with this whole dream sequence.
We were in the desert riding dune buggies, and I could just tell how happy I was.
Is she sure she didn't just fall asleep watching 90 Day Fiancé reruns? I mean, Ben and Mahogany were driving around on a dune buggy on Before the 90 Days. Was it Pastor Ben that made a cameo in the dream? Oh, could you imagine? Your spirit guides picking Pastor Ben and his creepy train story for you?
It was a runaway train, every passenger's nightmare. People opening windows, shoving and crying, except one couple. People were laughing now and clapping in time as the talented couple whirled up and down the aisle. The old train came off the wheels. Baby, the train is already going too fast to stop. Let's just dance.
Yikes.
We were moving fast and having fun, just feeling free.
Maybe she should turn off the TV before she goes to bed. Since she said in the dream that her and the mystery guy were happy and moving fast, we know she didn't fall asleep to a rerun of Asin and Nicole in the desert.
Almost too lazy. Oh my gosh, lazy.
Kimberly, says that this dream didn't show her fiancé's face, but she told her spirit guides that she was ready to meet this man.
And not too very long later, my fiancé Tejaswi reached out to me on social media.
Which I find funny that she says this because we hear TJ say that she didn't accept his friend request right away.
So I just took a screenshot of Kimberly's profile picture and started meditation. Just she should text me, and she texted me the next day.
They talked for 6 months online, and then TJ proposed over a text. Kimberly didn't say yes, and instead flew to India so they could meet for the first time in person.
The biggest thing that stuck out to me when I finally met TJ was how safe I felt around him.
2 months after they met in person, though, Kimberly did accept TJ's marriage proposal. Now she's getting ready to head back to India to get married. When we are watching from Kimberly's perspective, we learn that this couple will get married soon after her arrival in India, and they will be living in an apartment TJ is building over his family home.
That's where I'm gonna live every single day, and the details that he's building from scratch are driving me insane because they're not what we agreed on.
As much as Kimberly seems so worried about their apartment not getting done the way she wants, it seems like TJ has really made an effort to try to make Kimberly comfortable. His traditional Indian family also seemed to be accepting of their love marriage, which isn't always the case for these 90-day couples. And really, when we met TJ in his intro, I had some hope for this couple. I mean, this 33-year-old voiceover artist actually told his family about Kimberly, and he seemed to really want to marry her.
I'm gonna marry the Kimberly.
He started off so good and seemed to break a familiar pattern in this 90-day spin-off. You know, the pattern of keeping fiancés a secret from traditional Indian families. We saw this harsh reality with both Jenny and Sumit and Jen and Rishi. With Jenny and Sumit, they had a complicated story that also dealt with Jenny's age and Sumit's arranged marriage. It put them on a long journey of Sumit first admitting that he was already married, and then after ending his arranged marriage, then trying to get Sumit's family to even accept Jenny.
मैं बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ना चाहती इसके साथ। क्यों नहीं? मैं बिल्कुल ही छोड़ दे जेनी इसको। पहले बता रही हूँ तेरे को।
His family's acceptance was so important that I really thought that they would never get married. And then when they did finally get married, it took Sumit a long time to tell his family about it.
आपको पता मैं तो शादी भी कर चुका हूँ।
When he did, some of his family eventually came around.
शक्ल मत दिखा दियो कभी जिंदगी में।
And Jenny and Sumit are still together now. Jen and Rishi, however, didn't get as far with their story. In the previous season of The Other Way, Jen's move to India to marry Rishi was full of disappointment for her. We found out that Rishi's family didn't know anything about them being engaged.
16 साल बड़ी है।
अपना तो इधर राजस्थान में छोटी लाते हैं भाई, बड़े तो अपना लाना ही नहीं चाहते हैं।
सब लोग हंसी उड़ाएंगे, सब बात करेंगे।
Jen's age and the fact that she didn't want to be a traditional Indian wife and live with Rishi's family ended their relationship. With those two couples, a major factor was age and cultural difference. But with this new couple, age isn't an issue. And living with TJ's family isn't as much of an issue since they will be living in an apartment above the family home. TJ's family seemed to be accepting of Kimberly, which would have been a new thing for us to watch.
So in India, it's very hard to get love marriage. So I feel lucky my mom and my dad approved my relationship.
Or at least I thought it was. Because as much as TJ seemed to have an accepting family and no plans to make Kimberly a secret fiancé, there was one major detail he failed to mention to Kimberly that makes me not like him.
My family expects for Kimberly to be like a traditional wife in India, contributing to the household work.
TJ did not tell the Kimberly this, and says that he won't until after they get married. Ugh, we were so close to having no secrets. I was so close to having some hope for this couple too. They are getting married just 10 days after she arrives in India. So we will see her try to adapt to a new life and learn that she is expected to be a traditional Indian wife.
मम्मी अभी कर रही, फिर भी जितना बनता है कर रही हैं, ठीक है? अब धीरे-धीरे करके तो बांटना ही पड़ेगा ना दो जनों में काम, जब किम में और मेरे आगे वाइफ जो आएगी उसमें.
I can see needing to contribute to the household in some way, but how far will this go? And what are the real expectations here? Because they are not clear. And that's a terrible way to start a marriage. TJ is also worried that her thinking like an American girl will cause conflict with them all living together. Yeah, that's because it will. So why not marry a traditional Indian girl then? I never understand why this happens. You're marrying someone outside of your culture, but you expect her to act like she is within your culture? Kimberly also doesn't seem like the type that will just do what is expected if she doesn't believe in it.
I know I don't have a lot of patience for things that I don't agree with.
But whether we think this is not going to go well or not, Kimberly, her wand, and her broken suitcase are on their way to India. I'm glad that Kimberly does have support from her dad back home, because if she really ends up unhappy, she can come back to the US.
I want her to live her dreams. They've got a lot of things to work through, and I'm anxious about that.
And I have a feeling that she will return if this traditional Indian wife problem is as big of a deal as they are hinting it is. Kimberly is already walking into a new life. Adding on this secret of her not knowing what is expected of her cannot end well. After 3 days of traveling, Kimberly and TJ are excited to be reunited.
I finally get to be with him again. I love being with him so much.
But as they leave the airport, the reality of sharing a house with 6 people sets in.
So we have one bedroom. Either Yash or I sleep there with my mom. And my dad sleeps on the floor in the front room.
They do have their own space in an apartment above the family home. But after getting to the house and seeing TJ's family, Kimberly is not happy with the state of their apartment. Kimberly has said that she is the type of person that likes to have control, but with both the apartment and wedding planning, she has had no control. And now that she is in India and has only been helping TJ make decisions for the apartment long distance, she is extremely disappointed with the outcome and definitely doesn't hide how she feels about it.
We don't have a window yet because the guy who's supposed to fix that whole thing, he was in the hospital.
Kimberly doesn't think anything was done well.
This door opens straight into the shower.
So that you can have a wall there.
They technically have the space, but it's not finished and there are a lot of problems. It seems like TJ did make an effort though. He even took out a loan.
It was very challenging because I was trying to fix everything slowly, but every country has a different construction plan.
Also, this was done in 2 months. Is this normal in India? And when I say normal, was this a good attempt? I honestly don't know, and if someone could chime in here, that would be helpful. I will say this. They do have their own room and area away from the family. Once they fix it, they will have their own kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. I can see her side of him not telling her the state of this. I mean, they were video calling each other long distance and he could have shown it to her. But also, isn't she supposed to be all-knowing? Because she sure didn't see this coming.
Like, I don't understand. Why would they have a baseboard missing right there? If they decided to put a baseboard, why would you half-ass it?
It doesn't seem like he was honest with her about the state of everything. And he also is still not telling her the expectations his family has of her being a traditional Indian wife. But I feel like he tried. It looks like he put effort into this. I don't know, maybe my bar is just very low from Rishi not even telling his parents that he was engaged.
Jasmine and Gino want to remind you to subscribe to the kiblz channel. If you don't, they will give you creepy baby talk.
Who's my little baby? Who's my little baby? Who's my little baby?
Me.
I hate this. They did it, they half-assed everything, and it's done very poorly.
One thing is for sure though, and it's that Kimberly is not happy with this. And it seems like the main issue is nothing is finished or even, but there is a reason why it was done this way.
I didn't hire people from New York or something.
Obviously.
These are rural people. If they make it happen in 2 months, I'm grateful for them.
This starts a big fight. And isn't this their very first day together? That's not good.
I'm leaving everything behind to be with you, and you can't follow through on this one thing for me.
I'm not your servant, for your kind info.
No, you're supposed to be my partner, and you're failing at it.
Also, is his family just right downstairs listening to this? I don't have a clear picture of TJ's level of effort, but I do think that Kimberly is putting all of the blame on her partner when I don't know if it's justified. Did she put any money into this apartment? Why did they start construction only 2 months ago? They hadn't seen each other for 5 months. What was the delay? Was the plan for them to do this whole time and TJ just dragged his feet? The red flag I see is that she seems to go into victim mode when they fight.
If I'm expecting you and not abusing you, you don't try to mess up with me.
Oh no, but you can just act like you're this. This is not how I want to be treated for the rest of my life. This is not the man I want to marry.
Okay, don't marry me.
She told him he was acting like a dick and he walked away, so I don't know why she's mad when they are both yelling. On the next episode, the fighting continues. Does anyone feel like this level of fighting over this is excessive?
I'm just asking you to say you heard me, and you will not do it!
I guess we will see if this is a pattern they have because she just got here and this is happening. Maybe the impending wedding is just making this all more dramatic? Danielle never took any accountability when her and Johan fought. Instead of saying she was sorry, she would just do a ritual and roll a coconut around her house. Are we in for a similar thing with Kimberly?
How the f you are clairvoyant? You are not respecting someone's soul and someone's emotion?
Maybe this specific fight is just played up for the cameras. It's kind of hard to tell. If this is an act, they are already better actors than Kenny and Armando. I don't know about you, but I have had a very hard time sitting through their segments. It's almost like they are reading off a teleprompter. It is so fake. So what do you think of this couple? Will they even get married if they can't even get through their first day together without fighting? And if they do get married, how will Kimberly react when she finds out that she's expected to be a traditional Indian wife? We have had Jenny and Sumit who stayed together and worked through their major issues. But we also had Jen and Rishi who couldn't get past the issues with Rishi's family. This story on paper seems like it has a better chance of seeing this couple make it. But we are already seeing issues that might make these two miserable together. And they are really in trouble if Kimberly is truly like Danielle. Overall, I think this couple will be interesting to watch this season. And I'm excited to see how their story plays out. Are you? Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!